world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And joining us now is Nicole Malliotakis, Congresswoman, of course, of the great state of New York. Nicole, there is so much to talk about. What's the latest with the SAVE Act, with voter integrity?
Well, look, obviously we're trying to get the Senate to put it forward to actually pass it, because we passed it in the House. We think it's very good legislation. We think that it is important, and by the way, it's very popular among the American people. The majority of roughly 80 to 90% of the American people support voter ID. They support proof of citizenship to vote in our elections. And we saw here in New York how they tried to pass a law to allow non-citizens to vote. We successfully sued, the Republicans from New York City successfully sued to stop that piece of legislation, which we did. But there's other municipalities in the country that are allowing individuals who are in the country, either illegally or just non-citizens, to vote in their municipal elections. And so when you have muddied up the election rolls like that, it is so critical that we have voter ID. Now, here in New York, by the way, there's that green light law in which they're allowing illegal immigrants to get driver's licenses. And it's an automatic voter registration in that law. It's not unless you opt out. And that's the crazy thing. It's not you opt in. It is you actually have to tell them that you're not here as a citizen and opt out of being automatically enrolled. And so that is a problem here in the state of New York. And there's no differentiation on your ID that says you're a non-citizen. So that is why we want it to be a real ID, the same type of real ID that you would use to board an aircraft, right, or a passport. Those are the types of identification we think are warranted to protect the integrity of our elections.
Now, Nicole, there's been a lot of criticism going that the Republican senators are just messing around, and they know that they're never going to get to 60. Is there any that criticism, worth it?
Well, I think, I think there is a legislative maneuver that they can do that would allow them to break that filibuster to be able to pass this bill. And I think there's a lot of Republicans, and the president has been urging them to do so, because the bottom line here is it's not really the fault of the Republicans. Could they create a legislative maneuver to get it done in the Senate? Possibly, and they should be exploring every possible avenue. What it really is the Democrats, the 7 Democrats that won't give their votes to make this law. And, when you see something as popular as voter ID being rejected by your Democrat senator, you need to call them. You need to let them know that this is something that you support and think is important to preserving the integrity of our elections.
It seems like they don't care. I mean, that's horrible.
Look, for whatever reasons, some people say that they feel like they have an advantage when the rules aren't tight or whatever it may be. Look, the bottom line here is it is being demanded by the public. When you have 80% of the people wanting a law and you vote against it, you're not doing your due diligence as a representative. And they say that somehow this disenfranchises minorities. Well, minorities actually also overwhelmingly support voter ID. And how insulting is that to individuals to say that they don't know how to access voter ID? That is what they're saying is the reason, because it would disenfranchise them because they have a harder time accessing identification. That I think should insult anybody, that they're using that as an excuse, particularly when these same minority groups are saying that they overwhelmingly support this in every single poll.
Yeah, and you know what, Nicole, in the middle of all this, too, it's like the Democrats, anything that Trump wants, they're against. Like you said, voter ID.
That's right.
And then I also hear House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries even against the Iran war. I mean, he was saying it's going to be another failed Mideast conflict. I mean, look what he's done just in a few weeks. It's Trump derangement syndrome on steroids.
Yeah, if President Trump is against it, the Democrats will be for it. If President Trump is for it, the Democrats will be clearly against it. And we see that taking place now with the Homeland Security funding. To your point, we have a conflict in the Middle East. We have the Iranian regime has threatened to not only kill our president in the past, they've threatened to cause harm on our own soil. And yet we have Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, who are New Yorkers and should know how important the Homeland Security funding is. It was a department created after 9/11. They don't want to fund the department. They don't want to fund the border protection. They don't want to fund ICE to deport people who are dangerous in our community. They don't want to know who is coming in and out of our country with border protection. And they're holding up these lines at TSA as a result. They're holding up the paychecks of our TSA employees, of our Coast Guard. Why? Because they want to go against President Trump. And, I mean, they've already got so many concessions. And by the way, me myself, I was also somewhat critical of how ICE had been handling certain things. And I made my voice heard with the White House. They made some changes. They made a lot of different changes. In fact, they removed the head of Homeland Security.
Nicole, thank you so much for calling in. And we'll have to take a break right now. And let's talk again real soon.
Thank you, Nicole.
Nice to be with you. Thank you, and congratulations on your Gracie Award.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much.
And you don't have to congratulate me on my Oscar award because I didn't get it.
But an Oscar-nominated film.
You did
for
deserve
sure.
one, though, John. That was a great part. You did deserve one.
I agree.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nicole.